Hey everybody, Chavez again, day 3. This is a review. So if you know how to do all these, go ahead and do it. You can reference the video anytime you want to if you run across any of these problems that you're not sure about. This is everything we've worked on all year, so there's nothing new here, but I wanted you to keep up on your skills. So let's look at number 1. We'll try to get through this quickly. We're going to change these mixed numbers into proper fractions. So 2 times 5. We take the whole number times the denominator and add the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So 12, and we'll keep the denominator the same with the minus there. Here, we're going to do 3 times 7. We're going to hold off on the negative till the end. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus 4 is 25, and that'll be negative 25 over, we keep the same denominator. For organizational purposes, you may want to just throw parentheses around so you understand that negative, that minus pops out to you very highly. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and leave change opposite. So LCO it. So we're going to leave 12 over 5. We are going to change the minus to plus, and we're going to do the opposite of negative 25 to 25. What are we going to do over here? Well, we can't add them together because we don't have a common denominator. So what you can do is multiply the other one by 5 and multiply this one, that one by 7. So let's see, 7 times 12, and probably not going to do that in my head. I believe 84. And 7 times 5 is 35. Then we're going to do 5 times 25, which is 125. That was an easy one to do in the noggin. And 35. Now that we have a common denominator, we can go ahead and add the numerators together. So 84 plus 125 equals 209. So 209 over 35. We're going to leave it as an improper fraction, 9, 10, 11, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 doesn't go into it, 9 doesn't go into it. Offhand, it doesn't look like it's going to reduce. So if I look on the back of my notes, it's, yep, over 35. No reduce. It does not reduce. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Here we have a division problem. Try to hide this one down here so you focus on this. Again, if you'd like to throw, that sometimes helps. So you can see the separation. You know this is a division problem. So again, we're going to multiply the whole number times the denominator and add the top, but we don't want to use the negative yet. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 5 is 29, and over 8, and we want to add the negative back to that problem. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 8, 44, and over 9. At this point, since it's division, we want to change it to multiplication. We're going to LCR. That stands for leave it, change it, and do its reciprocal. So we're going to leave negative 29 over 8. We're going to change it to multiplication, and we're going to do its reciprocal, which means to put the denominator into the numerator into the denominator, or just simply flip it over. If that happened to be negative, you want to make sure that you leave the negative at the top. That's just where it belongs. Now, what do? We multiply the numerator times the numerator, and we multiply the denominator times the denominator. So negative 29 times 9 equals negative 126. I'm sorry, negative 261. And we're going to do 8 times 44, which is 352. If you want to, and you have a calculator that's capable of doing it, I'm willing to take this. I do not believe, from what I can see offhand, that this reduces. If you have that calculator that does it, you can enter that in the fraction bar part, and you can hit the equals and it'll reduce it for you, but this one does not, as I thought and suspected, does not reduce. So there is your answer for that. The next one we have number 3 is our wonderful, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and add and subtract from left to right. Everything goes from left to right, so the first thing we want to do is look at the parentheses. Well, this is the only set of parentheses. So we have to do that part of the parentheses. We're going to do that part. So we're going to write everything else down just to be organized. And we're going to do 2 plus 4, which is 6. And whoops, and we're going to multiply that. So we can put it back in parentheses, or we can put a multiplication symbol in there. Because it is in parentheses, it is next to it, that means multiplication. We have no more parentheses realistically. If we want to write that a different way, and I think I taught you to do it the other way so you don't get it. So there. We'll do it that way. That way you don't mistake it for parentheses with this parenthesis over here, okay? Sorry, I kind of went off paper there. So what do? We're going to look at exponents. We're going to find the exponent. That's this one right here. So we're going to write everything down. And 2 to the second power is 4. And then what do? Multiplication and division. Well, there's the division right there. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then just write everything down again. Well, now there's multiplication. Remember, it's left to right. We don't do all the multiplication and all division. You want to watch doing that. We want to follow it from left to right and get through it. Excuse me. 4 times 6 is 24. We'll write down everything that we had. And finally, the last part of that is 3 plus 24 is 27, which gladly is our answer. Next one, we got 2 of them here. These are 2-step equations that you've been learning. That is part off that reference sheet, which I should download for you. It should be on there. It's these last 2 steps, steps 4 and 5. We're going to get rid of what's added or subtracted to the variable first, and then get rid of what is multiplied or divided to the variable. If we do our job ahead of time, we're going to get rid of, in larger equations, we're going to get rid of the fractions like we have now ahead of time. But for right now, this is where we are. So let's look at this one. Put that over that, so you're not looking at it. All right, so what's added or subtracted to the variable? Here's the variable. We're talking about 10 or negative 2. Well, it's negative 2 plus m, and it's 10 times m, so it's this one. So we're going to add 2, do its opposite operation. What we do on one side, we do on the other side. So if we add 2 over here, we have to add 2 over here. And these are opposite operations, therefore they're gone. Or they equal 0. 0 plus 10, m is 10m. So we have 10m equals, and negative 182 plus 2 is negative 180. Then what do we do? Well, now it's that final end of it. We're going to get rid of what's multiplied or divided. It happens to be 10 times m. So the opposite operation of times is divide. So our 10s will become 1. 1 times m is m. People like to say cancel. You know I'm not a fan of that. Negative 180 divided by 10 is negative 18. And we have our answer. Fairly easy. Again, once again, review. Here's this one. Some of you get a little confused on this at times. But it's the same thing. We have m divided by 2. We have m minus 5. So what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and get rid of what's added or subtracted. Well, it's that minus. So since it's minus 5, we're going to add 5. And what we do on one side, we do on the other side. They're opposite operations, so they're gone. We are left with m divided by 2. And negative 14 plus 5 is negative 9. What do? We have m divided by 2. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply both sides by that number, which is 2. The 2's disappear. We have m equals negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. Just so happened both of them came out to be negative 18. All right, that's that one. And to our newer stuff that we learned. Well, actually, number 6 here is combining like terms. It's the only thing we can do here. We can't distribute. There's no parentheses, so that we do have combining like terms. We know that the 6 is the same as the 1 because they don't have a variable. 2 and 9 are the same because they have a variable, that m. Now, if there was a 2 up here on this one, m to the second power, you could not combine it with m because it's to 1 power. So we're going to add these together. 6 and 1 is 7, and we'll add these together. 2 and 9 is 11, and we're not multiplying, so we're not adding any m's. They stay the same. So it's m. We do not add them together because we're adding, we're not multiplying. In multiplication, you would add those together, but we're not. So this is your answer here. All right, some more expressions here. This again, we have parentheses, so we can distribute. So negative 3 times 10 is negative 30. 0 plus 1x is x. See, this is where we're going to add our x's together because we're multiplying, but fortunately we don't have an x over here to add. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And we've simplified that. Our two simplification processes. All right, here we're going to have some x's that we're going to add together. So 4 times negative 9, negative 36. And we do have 1x and 1x, so we add those together because we're multiplying. We add, it's x to the second power. Then 4 times negative 10, which is negative 40. And we have 1x and no x, so it is 1x. 1 plus 0 is 1. You can put the 1 up there if you want to. I don't care. You won't see the 1 on there in the answer sheet. And there you have it. Your review. Everything that we've learned so far that's I find to be important for your skills are right here on this review. Get it done. Take a picture. Turn it in. Talk to you guys later.